Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, April 6th, 2021. It's a Trivia Tuesday, and today we're going to play a brand new game. I mean, it's not that original of a game, but it's a new game for us here. I've put my own, my own spin on it a little bit. I'm calling it Who Said That? And I'll explain a little bit more as we get into it, but basically, I will give you a quote from basically like a meme, and you'll have to guess who it is. We'll get a little bit more into the details. I'm not going to make it so hard that you have to like completely guess out of like the infinite sea of people who have said things on the internet. So I'll narrow it down for you, and it's running related. But before I do that, I just want to take a sip of coffee because I love coffee. That's good. And I also want to say hi to everyone listening on the podcast only version today. So for today's Trivia Tuesday, sometimes when I make a game, it's like a visual aids type of game. This one doesn't have. I mean, this does have visuals to it. You'll kind of hear about it, but it's not critical to play the game. So you guys will be able to play along while you guys are out there on your run or just getting some other work done just fine. And same thing for everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact. You guys will be able to have a fun time playing with this too. I hope. All right, let's see who's here today before we get into the game. Jeff Elliott was here first, and hoping that everyone's enjoyed their day so far. Philip Bourne is here, and he said only 3 days to go. Got his next percent 2 delivered, and can't wait to try them out. And as soon as the weather allows for it, nice. That'll be fun. All right. Recycle on Wednesday says hi, everyone. Not really Hank Aaron's here as well. Chris Yao says the AC's been repaired, which, Chris, you're in Florida, right? So that's going to be a little bit more important for you than it is for everyone else. Although here, it's going to be like 80 degrees today, which is crazy. We do have the air conditioning is on. My daughter turned it on. She just turns it on all the time. She has no ability to literally sweat it out. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'll be hot. I'll just go hot. I'll let it happen. I'm like, it's still April. We're not turning on that air conditioning, but she turned it on, and then everyone left. So my wife's taking advantage of the nice day as well. She's taking the girls out for a walk when the girls go out with their scooters. So I'm just in here by myself, me and the dog, and the air conditioning, but I'm glad it's on. I'm glad yours is repaired, Chris. He said he was a bit uncomfortable. He was more stressed about the rising temps in the reef tank. Awesome. All right. Good. I'm glad that's all fixed for you, Chris. Scott is here. Kevin Yang says I'm fairly new to the live stream. Hopes everyone's having a good day. Awesome. Well, welcome, Kevin. It's fairly new, so I'm guessing you kind of get the gist of what's going on here. Today is a game we're playing, so not specifically talking about anything, but if anyone does have a running question or a shoe question or whatever question, feel free to drop it in. There's no structure today. There's no real rules, but just hanging out. All right, David Prabhu's here. What's going on? And Kevin says, "Oh, I suck at trivia, though." Don't worry. I try to make it so that even if you have no idea what the topic is, you can always guess. And today, all right, let's talk about the game a little bit more. I want to scroll down a little bit to the end, guys. Super Small says, "You guys have your AC on?" Yeah, we do. It gets so hot in here because we have southern exposures, so we just get sun. Like right around this time of day, it just gets hot. We get baked with heat, so we do have ours on. I mean, I'd probably be fine without it, but yeah, we do have it on. All right, so here's the game. The game is I'm calling it "Who Said That," but another way to look at today's episode of it, it's going to be "Who Said That." Was it Keanu Reeves or Rich Roll? So I was on the internet. I was on Twitter the other day, and I was just scrolling. And then there was this like meme of Keanu Reeves saying like, I'm just at that point in my life where I'm just not going to engage with certain people. You want to say 1 + 1 = 5? That's fine. Great. And that was it. And I was like, oh, that's something Keanu Reeves said? That's great. I love that. And then I was trying to find like, well, I want to hear him say that. I want to see like his intonations and the way he delivered that. So, yeah. So I was going to say like, I was like, well, I want to find that clip. I want to be able to listen to that clip, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I was able to find like the interview that someone had pasted, like the text. It was one of those things where it was like 4, like a film strip, like 4 in a row. But I couldn't find it. But along the route of trying to find that, I found a whole bunch of other like Keanu Reeves quotes. And I was like, wow, these don't sound like what you would think with Keanu Reeves to say these. So that's where we're going with it. That's where we're going to do it today. So Yeah. So we'll do Keanu. What I'll do is I'll read you. And here's the other thing. I don't know, and I've not gone to any effort to verify. I think it's more fun if I don't verify. I've not gone to any effort to verify that any of these people actually said any of these things. But on the internet, there exists, like, you've seen those, right? Like the motivational quotes. Like there's a picture of someone and then words, right? So I'll read you the words. I've typed them out separately. I'll read you the words, and then you have to guess, was it Keanu Reeves or was it Rich Roll? All right. So let's go. Let's do the first one. Let's do the first one. All right. Here we go. We'll do it this way. All right. The first quote is, I don't want to be part of a world where being kind is a weakness. I don't want to be a part of a world where being kind is a weakness. Was that Keanu Reeves that said that? Or was it Rich Roll? I mean, if I were just to guess, I could say it could go either way. I mean, having seen like what I've seen, like I feel like, the other thing I like about this game is I think this game can have some legs. I feel like we could get a couple of people, like I feel like we could do like one that I do really want it. I think probably the next one, if we do this one again, if you guys like it. I think another really good one would be like Russell Brand and Matthew McConaughey. I feel like that would be a really good one too. All right. Super Schmaltz has a quick question though. She says, you mentioned in previous live stream that you use neck gaiters with elastic on the end. Which brand? My favorite one for summertime, I have a winter one that I really like, but I have one that I think is gonna be not terrible for the summer, is Mission. Spelled like the word like mission. Yeah. So that one, it's better than the buff ones. Even some of the recent buff ones, I got a couple new ones, and they do have a little bit of elastic, but the neck diameter is different. So the Mission ones, there's one that's supposed to be cooling. I have one of those that I like. So that's one that I would think of. All right. Yeah. So let's get some guesses. Runner Dre says it's 50-50. I think I could do this. Mark thinks it's Neo. That could be Neo. Would Neo have said that though? I don't know if Neo would have said that. Maybe Neo after he took the red pill, but not like before red pill Neo. All right. Let's see. Larry thinks it was Rich Roll. Ron, what's going on? Ron says it was Keanu. Matt says it's Rich Roll. Chris, I think it was Newt Gingrich. Yeah, I don't think so. Pretty sure he wasn't the one that said that. A couple of votes for Keanu in a row, and that is in fact. Let's see where it is. Where's my thing here? That is in fact who it is, and there is the the meme thing. Where it says, I don't want to be a part of a world where being weak is kindness. Now, based on this, like whoever put this together, like they just picked a picture of Keanu that they liked and a quote for Keanu where they liked. And it's one of those things where I think it's now attributed to him. I don't know if he actually said it, but we're going to say that that's him. I don't know. Was it Bill or is it Ted? I don't know which one he is. I don't know which one he is in Bill and Ted. I've only seen Bill and Ted once, and I don't think I've seen any of the sequels. So I'm not sure about that. Yeah, Steven says he's got the Kofuzi hair. Maybe Kofuzi has the Keanu hair, maybe. Luz Becerra says Point Break Keanu. But Point Break Keanu was like super tough, though. I don't think he would have said that. I don't know. Oh, Chris says Love Mission. Have several of theirs. That's Serena Williams' company. It is? I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that further. All right. Okay. Let's get to the next one. And Brian E says that Keanu was Theodore. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one for today's game. All right. Hit this. Here's the quote. Tell me, is it Keanu or Rich Roll? If you have been brutally broken, but still have the courage to be gentle to other living beings, then you're a badass with the heart of an angel. Sorry for the foul language there, guys, but I'm just reading the quote. Not my words. Someone else's words. All right. Matt says you need to go watch Bill and Ted again. You don't need to watch the sequels. Okay. Maybe I'll do that. And JC says Mission tortillas are pretty good. I will agree with that. That's pretty good. We get a lot of the flour tortillas. I like that. I like their flour tortillas. But for corn tortillas, I forget the name of the brand. Whatever brand is local. The one that was like made like a couple. The thing about corn tortillas is they don't travel very well, so they can't come from very far away. So all right. Shannon thinks this was Rich Roll. Matt thinks it was Keanu. Ryan probably says Roll. Larry says Roll. Martha wants to know, was it Bob or Brad? That could be a fun game too. Was it Bob or is it Brad? Oh, most famous physical therapist on the internet. Martha thinks this one's definitely Rich Roll, and a lot of people, because I think it's Morton Downey Jr. with a cigarette. That one's funny. I like that one. All right. CV76 says we need to keep this PG for language and no violence. Okay, here we go. PG. That's fine. Yeah, I think this is PG. Yeah, Runner says, I'm going to go. Everyone's saying Rich Roll, so I'm going to go with Keanu. The answer is Keanu Reeves again on this one. And again, it's one of those things where it's just words next to someone's face, you know, picture that someone liked, and then the words put together. And so they put it. I just love these things. I could read, you know, like there's Instagram accounts that are out there that all the Instagram account is nothing but these kinds of things. Usually from people like Goggins or like other like endurance athletes or like football players, basketball players, that kind of thing. But there's entire Instagram accounts where this is the only thing that people post. But yeah, I mean, I don't like those Instagram accounts, but I kind of like this. Yeah, this guy is the nicest guy ever. I mean, you know, I listened to a couple of interviews of him, and yeah, one, I didn't know that he was Canadian. That was the first thing that I learned in my research on Keanu. And the other is I didn't know he was dyslexic. But yeah, and he also has like a motorcycle company, or yeah. So that's another interview that I found as well, which I thought was pretty fascinating. And Shannon says, though, they do really speak with the same very poetic language. Yeah, I mean, there's an introspection there. There's a thoughtfulness to it. Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, super small. That's the one I like. Milagro. That's the best corn tortillas. You can't get them a lot because I think they're like the factory is not far from where we are in Chicago. So, I mean, they're good. I don't think they're like nationwide. Yeah, and Leona says Rich Roll podcasts are very long and they're good for super long runs. Yeah. There was one, he did the Roll On podcast the other day. You know, the one where he's like sitting with Skolnick and they're like just chatting about like topics of the day. Which I kind of really enjoy that. I like the banter that they have sometimes. Although sometimes I feel like it gets a little bit awkward. But one time they were like, "Whoa, this is going long. We got to hurry this up. This is going to be like a 4-hour podcast today." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we got to hustle up. We got to tighten things up." And the podcast still ended up being over 3 hours long. Oh man, yeah. Scott says the Mission tortillas has lard. Don't eat that crap. I mean, don't all corn tortillas have lard in them? I need the good ones anyway, right? I suppose you can use vegetable shortening, but like I feel like there's 3 ingredients to tortillas: the cornmeal, lard, and water. So like I don't know how you get around that if you're eating corn tortillas. So yeah, I mean, I guess they must make vegan ones now, probably with vegetable shortening, like Crisco. But yeah. All right. Jason says, I have a feeling every question will be Keanu, and I do not have a problem with that. That's funny. Well, we'll have to see. All right, let's get to question number 3. I think I probably should have done more than 5 today because I think we're going to go through them quickly, and then we'll have a lot of time at the end. But that'll be okay too. All right. Here's the third one. How someone else decides to classify me or judge me or categorize me is none of my business. Who said that? Oh, Martha says, I thought only flour tortillas have lard, not corn ones. Luis Becerra. I thought that they all did. So that if I'm saying the wrong thing, let everyone let me know. Yeah. But all right. So we got some guests coming in here. And Scott says some tortillas don't have lard in it. All right. Well, I'll have to look a little bit more carefully for mine. Jeff Elliott says tamales have lard in them usually, and you don't have to use it for corn. Oh, I thought you did. All right. Larry thinks this one is Roll. I think this is Howard Stern. I mean, I could see him saying that. I could see him because sometimes I feel like Howard Stern has a really great grasp of who he is and how he's perceived and how some people receive him. So I could see him saying that one. Martha thinks this one's Rich Roll. Stevie 76, Yogi Berra. That'd be another good one too. I think that could be a good one. I feel like this is a game we could play frequently. Luis Becerra says Johnny Mnemonic. That was a good movie. And if you think about, maybe that's one I have to go back and watch again. But like, if like, is Johnny Mnemonic like very scarily, like strangely close to the Matrix? Right? I don't know. I kind of think. Me remembering not having seen that movie basically since it came out, and I don't know that I really watched the whole thing. I'm not sure. I didn't watch it in the theater, but like some of the basic premises remind me of the Matrix kind of a lot. Maybe at a high level, they're the same. All right. Matt says, no idea. I think this is Rich Roll. He's 0 for 2 already, though. Ronald J thinks it's Keanu. Not really Hank Aaron says Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, I like it. Crazy says, I strongly disagree with this quote. Yeah, I'm not sure that I love it either. But I could see what... Yeah, I think that, like, if you put it, like, I'm thinking about this quote, like, right now in the context of a very polarized society where there's a lot of labels that are getting thrown around of usness and themness or otherness, and I'm a little bit concerned about this quote, but I kind of understand, like, where this person's going. Jason also says, I confused Rich Roll with Rick Roll, and I think I made a big mistake. Yeah. Shannon says, I am probably too preoccupied with running, but I like the Who Strava post is this trivia. I like that one too. Maybe we'll do that one next week, and then we'll do another Who Said That, and we'll kind of mix it up back and forth. I'm trying to collect more items for like a what is this on Amazon? Like that game. I like that game too. All right. Let's see. X Truth said, I don't know if this has been said before, but is this your full-time job? I know you've spoken about being a lawyer in the past. It's kind of my full-time job now. My full-time job is a stay-at-home dad. So, that's my full-time job now. But I just do this for fun. All right. Jeff Elliott says, this is a quote from Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a version of one of the common sayings. Oh, all right. Well, I think that gives it away then. So that's a Rich Roll quote, or at least that's how the person who put this meme thing together has said it. That how someone else decides to classify me or judge me or categorize me is none of my business. That's interesting to take that in the context of recovery from substance abuse, though. I have to think about that one a little bit. I think I have to stew on that one a little bit. Huh. All right. Yeah, I still need a little more time on that one. Lewis coming in with the definitive says, not all tortillas are done with butter. All right. I stand corrected. Thank you. Chris says, Govuzi has hit the jackpot. Trivia Tuesday based on Insta meme accounts with internet randos. Yeah. I spend a lot of time looking at social media, I guess. All right. Yeah. Will Gravel says, hey guys, what's going on, Will? Good to see you again. All right, let's get to, I think this is number 4. Number 4. All right. Doing anything well and doing anything exceptional is hard, and it's going to throw your life out of balance to execute it in a manner that you feel capable of doing, and I'm comfortable with that. Any ideas on that one? Carlos Rivera said, I have no idea who Rich Roll is. Rich Roll he's a lot of things. Right now, he's probably best known for being a podcaster, but he's been a swimmer, a triathlon, an endurance athlete, an author, does a bunch of things, but he has a podcast called The Rich Roll Podcast, where he interviews lots of people in very, very long-form conversations, deep dives, which I'm like super into, and sometimes I'm just like, I think maybe I'll skip this one. But I do enjoy his approach to conversation and kind of investigation quite a bit. So I've been enjoying it. Really good for long runs because there's always like another Rich Roll that you can listen to, So Matt thinks this was Ed Bud. I could see Ed Bud saying that. Let's see, Mark said it would be interesting if someone said they weren't aware of who Keanu Reeves is. I think that's a little bit harder because of like, I mean, like from like generationally, you know, you have like people that might be familiar with him because of Bill and Ted, and then you have people that might be familiar with him because of like Point Break and Speed, and you have people that on the other end. So I guess I went the wrong way. Now going to the other end of like the chronological spectrum. Then you got people that might be familiar with him because of Matrix, and then you got even younger. Like now, people that like know the Matrix are kind of like older. So you got people that love him for John Wick. So like every like kind of like about basically like every time like an entire set of siblings will go through a high school, he has like a big hit series of movies. All right. Shannon says, can you buy straight lard at the store? I think so if you're going to the right store. I think if you went to probably like a ethnic market, I'm pretty sure you could probably get that at the Korean grocery store. But if you went to like a bodega or like a actual like Hispanic market, I'm pretty sure you could find it there. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anything like that. I know you could get like a big tub of MSG at the Korean grocery store, which I was like, it comes in liquid form? I thought it was a powder. But yeah. But you get them in like at the Korean grocery store, you get them in the canisters of the MSG that look like the gas tanks that people put on the back of Jeeps, you know, or Hummers, you know. But yeah, so. But the lard, I'm pretty sure you can get it. I mean, it's probably in the same area as you get the Crisco. All right. Yeah, Jeff Haley says you can definitely buy lard. It's using pie crust too. Yeah. Pie crust and biscuits. Those are the best. That's the best uses of lard. All right. Mark Chanko says, when is John Wick 4 coming out? Reeves and Fishburne are back. Oh, wait, that's also Matrix 5. Yeah, you know, I watched all of the John Wick movies on flights. Because I was kind of aware of them, and I was like, whatever, I'm not interested in that. But then I started watching all of them on flights, like right as the pandemic was hitting. And so now I'm like, oh, I love those movies. Those movies are great. They're so violent. With the choreography, you know, it's I could see why they're a hit. And then I don't know if you noticed this. I mean, I watch a lot of CNN, which you guys probably knew. But when people were talking about like post election, how like different senators were going down to Mar-a-Lago to pay fealty to Trump. I feel like the people there were very intentionally using a phrase from, I mean, that fealty is a word that existed before, but like it's very, very definitely a phrase I think that was intentionally used to reference John Wick, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. But anyway, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Frank says, Roll, did I do this one right? Roll believes in going overboard and everything. Yeah, that's it. And Matt says, I'm going with Roll. I'm going to feel really duped if this one is wrong. You guys are right. This definitely feels like a Rich Roll quote too. But I was thinking, you know, he's such a, like a, you know, Keanu Reeves has been in so many movies and has had to have quite a bit of range in a lot of them. So I was like, well, yeah, I could see people like, you know, saying like how his life is sometimes unbalanced because of his dedication to his work. But this is a Rich Roll quote, and it feels like a Rich Roll quote. This one makes sense. Yeah, Frank says definitely Roll. Runner Dre also had it too. Awesome. Chris says it sounds like a Scotty B inspirational Strava comment. I like that one too. Nice. All right. I think I have one more. Do I have one more? Or are we at the bonus already? Here's one more. Last one. Number 5. And then we'll get to the bonus for today. All right. Nothing ever truly dies. The universe wastes nothing. Everything is simply transformed. Is this Rich Roll or is it Keanu Reeves? Mark says, I just rewatched John Wick 3. Halle Berry still looks fantastic. Goals. Yeah, I don't think I've ever rewatched any of them. But then I was watching an interview of his on like GQ when he was talking about his motorcycle company. They do like custom motorcycles. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that there was a really super intense motorcycle chase scene in one of the John Wick movies. I got to rewatch that. But yeah. All right. Matt Legrand thinks this is Keanu. A lot of votes for Keanu, CK Stoner, Runner Dre, Will Gravel. Scott says Professor Proton. I don't know who that is. All the votes coming in for Keanu. JC says Spock. Is that a Vulcan idea? Would it be? I'm not sure. Seek Your Elite says, I'm pretty sure MSG is banned in Australia. How do you get Doritos? Do you guys not have it in your Doritos? Because it's in Cool Ranch Doritos, that's for sure. I believe it's in the nacho cheese flavored Doritos as well. But that'll be interesting to see. That's interesting. Cool. Yeah, I'll have to check out that. Let's see. Christia says, I was most certainly not transformed into a runner. I feel disincentivized. It's funny. Tommy, you think this is from The Replacements? Maybe. Rick says, this is Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan had some pretty crazy ideas too. CK Stoner says, I just saw a cartoon, John Wick versus Rambo. Oh. Two very different kind of dudes. All right. Let's see. Yeah, CK Stoner says, imagine if MSG was missing in your Doritos. What's that taste like? Now I want to try. I want to see if the Australian Doritos do or do not have MSG in them, and if they don't, I want to taste them. I want to double check though. I'll double check for you guys to make sure that. Yeah, if Matt says if Cool Ranch Doritos are banned in Australia, I'll have nothing to do with that place. I want to make sure that I'm pretty sure Cool Ranch Doritos have it. It's either Cool Ranch Doritos or I think I checked Cheetos recently, and I was like, "There's MSG in these." Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah. All right. So you guys had it right though. No, and there were no votes for Rich Roll, but I was pretty sure that would throw it off because Rich Roll talks about the universe quite a bit. I feel like, and so I was for sure that this was going to throw people off, but you guys had it. Ryan Luoma says, there's a story on This American Life about how the negative effect of MSG was manufactured by two doctor buddies in the 70s or 80s who like practical jokes. That seems extreme. Interesting. Crazy. Mark Shanko says, Cool Ranch definitely has MSG. I've checked. MSG is what makes it delicious. I bet. Yeah. And Jem Elliott says MSG is not banned. Will Growell saying it's not illegal. It's just legally classified as a food additive rather than an ingredient. Oh, okay. Interesting. New Betcha though says I've had some Doritos in Europe and they weren't nearly as brightly colored. Oh. I remember eating like chips and stuff again, the last time I was in Korea was a long time ago, but eating chips there, even like the same Cheetos chips, and I was just like, what's wrong with these? I was 12 or 13, and I was like, oh, Korean Cheetos are just funny. The packaging's funny, they taste funny. This might not be real Cheetos. So I don't know. I didn't realize that like there could be different formulas. All right. Rob Van Spoun says, hey, all just came in for my speed workout. Vaporflies are fun. Nice. Hope you had a good workout, Rob. All right. Let's get to the bonus for today. Here's the bonus. Which of these two guys is older? Which of these two guys is older? What do you guys think? Says Kofuzi. I'm actually not older than either of these guys. I'm younger than both of them. So, but I've got to say, like, these guys are kind of like, I'm like, wow. I think Rich Roll has his haircut now, but I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, I do not look nearly as photogenic as either Rich Roll or Keanu Reeves, but I'm like, my hair's about the same length. So I'm looking for inspiration from these guys. And they both, I feel like, have like some receding hairline going on there. And I'm like, oh, I think my hair is receding a little bit more than theirs is, but maybe some gentle guidance, because I'm in new territory for me here as far as the hair goes. I've had long hair before, not this long, so all right. Not really. Hank Aaron says, who's on the left? And Christian says they are the same person, simply transform. Could be. CK says, I know Keanu is my age. Yeah. Scott says, I'm older than both, but not combined. And Martha says, they both look like Jesus here. Nice. Now, Matt says, I would normally guess Rich Roll, but I'll go with Keanu because that would be tricky. Recycle on Wednesday says, the one on the left looks older, so I assume it's the one on the right. And Will Grill says, I'm going to go with Keanu simply because I would expect it to be Rich Roll. In fact, they are those of you who said that Keanu is the older one is right. He was born in September 1964, which I was like, whoa, really? Wow, he looks great. Rich Roll was born 2 years later in October of 66. So they're very close in age. But Keanu is just slightly older. I was born in the late 70s. So I'm in the next decade from them. So yeah, Frank says Keanu is immortal. Yeah. He looks great. I mean, if he's still shooting those John Wick movies, I mean, I know he has a stunt double for a lot of that stuff, but still, like, I hope I'm moving that. I mean, I would love to be able to move as well as him in any of his movies at any time in my lifetime, but especially when I'm in, I think, what does that make him? What, 34, like 50 something? He's 13 years older than me. So yeah, like mid 50s. Whoa, he's moving great. I want to move that great. I think I move that great. I mean, I don't have like the training that he does, but I feel like I'm moving pretty well. Yeah, so that is the end of trivia for today, everybody. Thanks for playing. I had fun with that one. We'll go back. A long one. Here we go. All right. There we go. So that was the game for today. What time are we at now? All right, we're at 3:30. So we got some time in here. So if you guys want to still hang out, yeah. Scott says I'm choosing from one of them. JC says I'm still older. Yeah. Ray says, Cole, you look younger than them. I mean, I hope so. I hope so. Awesome. Rob says, I enjoyed the Stride video today. I really like to own one, but I'm just so fed up with subscriptions. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough direction to go, but I think that right now it's really difficult to be like a hardware creator. I think it's like Apple screwed things up for so many people, both software makers and hardware makers, that like everyone is just like trained for like, you should be able to have some sort of update every year and then have like a cheaper version of it as well. So I feel like it makes it really hard for new companies that have like one product to do that. And so I think this is their way of trying to figure out like, you know, how do we like stay not only connected with our users, but also have the ability to continue providing them with benefit from this product that they have. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes in terms of the new subscription. Like $10 is an interesting price. Yeah, and I wonder what their user base is like, to see if like, because I feel like they could have made it like $7.99. That sounds a lot. I mean, it is a lot cheaper than $9.99, but it just sounds so much cheaper than $9.99. So yeah, I don't know. Affluent Journey says, order the S-Lab Ultra 3s, maybe do a trail half in Lakeland, Florida this weekend. That sounds cool. Awesome. I got someone from well, normally when I say like, you know, Hoka contacted me or something like that, it's usually not someone with like a Hoka.com email address. It's usually like a PR company that's working with Hoka. But I got contacted by a PR company to send me a new Camelback vest, a more stripped down, lighter version. So I'm pretty excited to test that one out because it's getting hot out. And I definitely, for my long run yesterday, didn't have enough fluid with me. And it's still going to be, I think, another month before they turn on the water fountains. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll have to double check them. Another thing is like, do you really go to a water fountain in like a time of COVID? Can people get COVID from a water fountain? I don't know. I need some C2C guidance on that one. But I think there's going to be, you know, I think I need to start carrying some water. So I'm pretty excited for that. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff Elliott says like a Stride subscription will be on top of Strava too, maybe also on top of Zwift. It's kind of a hard sell for me. Yeah, I think that it's like, you know, like you gotta have to pick, right? So I feel like Strava, like the Strava subscription for me, like, I don't know, maybe that needs to be a video. Like, how do you pick the subscription? Like, I feel like the Strava subscription makes more sense if you don't like the way that like the watch that you have is like showing you data. you know. But if you're using it for like the social aspects and just as an aggregator, like I have a variety of watches, so everything just always pushes to Strava. So that's kind of like my official count, regardless of if I have like, you know, like a month of data here and a month of data there. But like the subscription features, like if I like my Polar watch, I like to look at data there. There's some very rare instances where I like the way Strava will lay something out more than like Polar lays it out. But like if I've already liked how Polar does it, then I don't really need the Strava subscription. But if you don't like the way your data gets laid out, then the Strava subscription makes more sense. Same thing with like, well, maybe if you don't need Strava, if you're getting the Stride subscription, because then you're looking at data a different way there too, you know. So it's like, you know, I don't think like people getting all of them is like kind of like the answer. Zwift is interesting too, because I mean, is Zwift still free for runners if you're only running? But if you're on the bike, then, you know, then you're definitely paying for a subscription. Yeah. It makes it hard. It makes it very confusing for a customer. And I feel like we're nearing, I think, like a tipping point, both on television subscriptions and for like, especially like the running space, like these running subscriptions. Like if you're doing, someone mentioned Whoop earlier too, like if you got like Whoop as well. Or if you're doing like the Amazon band, what's it called? Halo, that one, you know. And maybe the answer is these companies to partner up for like a group subscription option, you know, maybe kind of like a Disney Plus where you get like, I mean, I know Disney owns all these properties, but I mean, maybe that's ultimately where it goes, where like, I don't know, does Amazon buy all these just so that way all these can be subscribed under the same umbrella, you know? I don't know. I'm not really sure how it goes, but I think we're reaching near the point where everyone's going to be like, yeah, we got to do something about this. This is getting messy. Because if you're looking at it from like the TV streaming, you've got like Disney Plus, Hulu. I don't do Hulu because I'm just like, I do Netflix and we do Disney Plus. I'm not doing any other ones because we still do pay for cable as well. So it's like between those three, I'm like, that's a lot of money every month, you know? So Stevie76 says, CDC says you can get pink eye from farts. True. Yeah, you know, I told that fact to my daughters, and now anytime that they fart, they're like, "You're gonna get pink eye." Or every time the dog farts near them, they're like, "Watch out! We're gonna get pink eye from the dog." You know, so they love that. They love like the correlation between like a fart and potentially getting having some sort of other negative repercussion from it other than odor. I don't know why the kid. I mean, I guess I know why the kids like it because kids love like fart jokes. But yeah. All right. There's a question up here if I can get it real quick. All right. Will says, I'll be moving to the Midwest this fall from California. Never trained in the winter before. What's your number one tip for the transition? A little bit scared of the cold. If you're not really done winter running before, everyone's going to tell you don't over bundle because then you're going to get sweaty and then that sweat's going to get cold and then you're going to get real cold. I'd say until you get it figured out, over bundle. You know, you could figure out like, all right, this one, I came home like drenched in sweat. Next time, I remember like kind of the weather, I'll tone it down a little bit. That and hand warmers. That's the other thing. Put hand warmers in your gloves. That'd be the other tip that I give you. So those would be like 2 tips. Over bundle and figure it out from there, like titrate, you know, take it down notches as you go. And then till you figure out like what do I need when it's like 12 degrees out. And then, you know, hand warmers. I use the disposable ones. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they're disposable, but like they just work. I've tried the reusable ones and they don't. So, all right. Joyce Young says, get my second Pfizer shot on Thursday. Awesome. Super cool. Yeah, great. Glad to hear that. Scott says, have you ever had an order canceled? Today, Nordstrom's canceled my order of an Under Armour Breeze long sleeve shirt. The price was too good. Yeah, I've had that happen before. It happened a lot on Amazon and a lot of stuff. Like right when the pandemic hit, because like I think all of a sudden people were like, "Ooh, distribution channels are disrupted. What do we do here?" And so like that's when a lot of stuff got canceled. A lot of stuff will get canceled for my wife because she does all the grocery shopping orders. And so like she would order like the regular groceries, the order would go through, and then we get an email like 2 hours later saying like, "Oh wait, we actually don't have like that brand of cream cheese or whatever." And so like they would just like cancel the order, or stuff from her Amazon, like regular Amazon order, just wouldn't show up, and they would just refund her because we're like, we're not going to be able to do that. We don't know when we'll get it back in, so nope, we're just canceling the order on it. So it's happened. It's happened before. Rick Sutter says, I was a beta tester for the Stride new features and love the ability to create workouts and edit workouts in the Stride library. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. I like it a lot. It's something that I was like, why? I don't know why we couldn't do it right away, because I felt like it was the natural thing from like having the Stride workout plans. Maybe they just weren't ready to roll that out yet. But like, I love the idea of being able to just tweak it and edit it. Now they were saying that they're looking at the ability. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this or not, but they were looking at the ability to like let's say there's like 5 reps of something, to like bulk and make it really quick to just like edit all the reps a lot faster, and make other changes to like really make it like, let's say these reps are supposed to be, because a lot of times they're mapped to like, you know, like 90% critical power, to like make all the 90% critical power sessions like down to like 85% or up to 95%, you know, like to like move real quickly, kind of like by rules, you know, but, or like mass substitution. But, you know, for right now, I mean, I don't really think that's a huge deal. So I think they're going to be working on some more updates to it. And one thing I didn't mention in the video today about it is there's a collection that's in there that's just like, it's just like a workout of the week. So like every Wednesday, I think they're going to have a new workout in there that they'll kind of, they will make up. And you can put it in there and it'll be just something fresh. So like, I think it's supposed to be like every week. So yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes and see like what the adoption is like. I do think they're going to get a lot of resistance up at first because of like just subscription fatigue. And I think now, like being a year into a pandemic, people have been subscribed to a lot of stuff. So we'll see. All right. Andy Lent says, is the Mach 4 different enough from the Rincon to justify owning both? I would say, yeah. But like there is a bit of overlap. I would say like the overlap is in the middle. So like right at like easy pace to a little bit of like maybe a moderate pace. They're both are pretty good in that sense. But I think the Mach 4 is better at slower paces, where the Rincon starts to get less interesting at slower paces. And then at really fast paces, I like the Rincon a lot, and the Mach 4 I like not as much. So there is a lot of overlap. So if people were like, I'm not getting the Mach 4 because I have the Rincon, I'd be like, I can understand that. But if they're like, yeah, I have the Rincon, and then I went out and got the Mach 4, I'd also be like, well, that makes sense, because then you can use the Mach 4 for more of your long, easy runs or maybe some recovery runs. So it can make sense to me that way too. Yeah, my 2 cents says, I have the Stride, but there's 0 chance I'll be signing up for a subscription. Yeah, I think they're going to get a lot of people like that too. But I mean, you're still going to be able to use it the same way if you already have a Stride. And so some of the features that they're like putting behind the paywall, that stuff I think for everyone that currently has a Stride will always like be there. So like for me, like that'd be the race calculator. That one, you know, I'll still be able to have that. So like, you know, that's a big thing for me. And all the other data that you can look at, you'll still get like the critical power updates, that kind of thing. So you'll be able to guide your training enough that way. You just won't have like will you be able, you know, that's a good question is, I don't know if you'll be able to, if you're not subscribed, I don't know if you'll be able to make workouts like in the library section. That I don't think you'll have. Yeah, Albert says, I'm not going to get the Stride subscription either. Not really into it for the workouts, but I'd like the stats, which are free. Yeah. So, but I think the thing, and I think like, here's where it gets difficult though. Like if you're Stride, right? Because then if you're like, well, you could buy the device and just have the numbers. But I'm like, well, Koros will give you power from the wrist and you get just the numbers. I feel like that's a distinguishing feature for getting the Stride Foot Pod in addition to like having a Koros watch. Same thing with Polar Vantage V. And I think the M, no, it was just the V2. You get power from the wrist. And so, you know, you're just getting a number that way. And so so I think it makes it harder to get like, well, I just spent like $300 or $400 on a watch. And I'm also going to buy, you know, but I guess then if you're getting that and the data, you know, and it's a crowded marketplace. So I feel like they got to figure out a way to really distinguish. I'm not sure if this is enough because I hear you guys, but I also like, I realized I've had this for, I got it in like basically the like end of 2018, early 2019. So I've had it for solid 2 years now, and I run with it every day. There's probably been like 5 times where I haven't had it. So that's the other thing is like, I've gotten a lot of use out of it. So I don't know. Oh yeah, Nifty Ninja says there's no workout builder unless you subscribe. All right, even if you're like a pioneer or a legacy user. All right, well that's good to know. Yeah, my 2 cents. So the way Stride corrects for distance when you have bad GPS going under tunnels is really the main feature that I like. It ensures your current pace is correct when racing and training. Yeah, I mean that was the main reason I got mine, because I was like, at that point I was like using a variety of different watches or the phone and Apple Watch and trying to figure out like, how come I'm getting such different numbers? I was like, it's because GPS is crazy in a city. And so then I got the Stride FootPod and I was like, oh, makes sense now. So that was that's a big thing for me. And when I'm running in Iowa, it's not a big deal. All right. Yeah, Brett Reed says, going to get the subscription. Keeps running fresh. I did see on their Instagram post, and they didn't tell me this ahead of time, so this is a nice little surprise, that if you get the subscription now, you can get 6 months worth for $20. So like $20 versus 60. So like that'd be a good amount of time. I feel like 6 months is a good amount of time for like you to get tired of it, you know? So you could do it for the 6 months, do the workouts. You can do like a race build, you know, play around with all the different workouts. And by the end of that, you're probably getting a little tired of it, you know? And you just like not subscribe for a while. I'm assuming you can just like not subscribe for a while and then come back to it, you know, like when you want to do a training plan. So like, I think that option is there. So there's, you know, we'll see how it goes. All right. I think we're going to leave it for there today, guys. Thanks so much for playing. Who said that? I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know. I feel like we've got a nice collection of games. We might have to play more than once a week for some of these games. So we'll see if we do that anymore. All right. Tomorrow's video. Yesterday, I told you guys that I was going to do the video on the Reebok Float Ride Energy 3. I forgot that I had to do the Stride video for today. So that's what came today. Tomorrow will be the video on the Reebok Float Ride. We'll talk about that. And then we'll do another live stream. Same time as today, 3 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully I'll see you guys all there. And in the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.